Angel will share his workshop, Quick Evaluation Guide. And for today's theme, her answer to me is that because Angel's answer is kind of long, so let me read it to you. Her answer is that before she died, her speech topic is she wants to summarize the proudest and the worst moment in her life, and say thanks to those who hate her the most and love her to the best. Remind those who are still alive to do the things that she regrets not trying the most, and encourage them to live without fear of death. I think Angel is a person with full of love, and she has lots of positive thoughts. And Angel, I think for me, you are really trying your best to do everything to live your life. So I think you don't need to be so stressful to yourself. Okay. So let's welcome Angel.
Dear fellow members, good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, I feel so surprised to be selected as the host of evaluation because I thought it will be Circle, Charlotte, and Lucia. But during my preparation, I reviewed my Toastmasters journey and surprisingly found that I had received over 90 evaluations from different members in my journey. So it's a very awesome number. And if some of you still remember my old story that I had ever received a very special, awesome, frightening evaluations when I joined Toastmasters for less than 1 year. The key words of the evaluation is like this. Would you please prepare well before you stand on the stage? Your speech had ruined our meeting quality. Because of these two sentences, I quit from Toastmasters many years ago. Stayed at home for 1 year, kept thinking why, and feel so regrets, and kill myself. And when I finally restart my Toastmaster journey and started to deliver some individual evaluations for the members, I noticed that evaluation is not just a speech, not just the practice on stage, and not just the performance for myself. It's very important for every target speaker. So I started to think, what is the kind of evaluations we should provide to our members? It's very important. So that here comes my evaluation workshop. So today I prepare, in these 15 minutes, I prepare some tips, some basic knowledges, because some of members are still in their early stage of evaluations. And you also have your own tips to prepare an evaluation, because it's an impromptu one, so a little bit challenging for every one of us. So I'll provide some of my tips. And secondly, I will share some do's and don'ts during evaluation, of course, and give you some examples. And finally, I will encourage everyone to evaluate with sympathy. And your job as an evaluator is the partner of your speaker, but not the judge or the one who tells the two honest sentences to them. So you just ensure the speaker will come back with more confidence next time. So this is our job, important job as an individual evaluator. So this is my topic, Quick Evaluation Guide. And I divide it into 3 parts. Although evaluation is an impromptu speech, it's still a mini speech. So it needs clear structure, appropriate delivery techniques, precise time control. For the first part is about the structure. Of course, opening body and conclusion. And for the opening part, but what's the differences between prepared speech and an evaluation speech? In the opening, it must be attractive, of course, but pay attention to that. You always relate to the speaker. You are here to provide your feedbacks, but not your own show, own performance. So focus on your speaker. And secondly, in the body part, in the prepared speech, there you can say anything in the body part, but in evaluation, you must focus on 2 parts. Firstly, we will see if you have clear and focused analytical qualities. In other words, you can analyze the whole speech of the speaker and provide strengths 1, 2, 3 to share with the speaker to encourage them with some examples. And second part is the positive, specific, and helpful recommendations. In other words, you can provide feedback 1, 2, 3, give us the reason why you provide these feedbacks, what's the demonstration and examples for us. And final one is the conclusion. The conclusion in evaluation is more like a summary, a concise summation of all the strengths and feedbacks. And finally, encourage the speaker, motivate the speaker, and make them laugh and leave the stage with more confidence. So this is the overall structure of evaluation. And about time control, how to control our time, manage our time during the evaluation. If I line those points in a chronological order from opening, strengths 1, 2, 3, feedback 1, 2, 3, and conclusion, my suggestion for the time arrangement in the speech is like this. Since the feedback part is the focus of the evaluations, so I will suggest everyone don't spend too much time on praising the speakers because they had already know how good they are. And you can take time to tell them because many other members will tell them, but they need one to provide feedback and give them the way to improve. So put your time more focused on the feedback parts. So I would suggest you to spend the first 2 minutes in the opening, strengths, and the first feedbacks. So when you see the green board, I would suggest that you have already finished your first feedbacks. Give more examples. And in my experience, I find every feedback needs at least 30 seconds to explain, to show. So this is the way you can finish the first feedbacks, second feedbacks. And when you see the yellow board, probably you are starting your final feedbacks. And then the conclusion. I would suggest you use 15 seconds to complete your conclusion, a summation of all the strengths and feedbacks, and finally conclude with a very encouraging words. So this is only my suggestions. It's more easy to say than to take action. It takes time to practice to fit this timeline. Yeah, I say that, but sometimes I overtime. So just practice. And next time when you stand on stage, pay attention where you are when you see the green board, yellow board, and red board, and adjust a little bit. And you can finish your evaluation on time. Okay, this is about time control. And next part is about delivery techniques. So what's the techniques we need during the delivery of an evaluation? Do you have your answers in mind? It's different from prepared speech, right? So we won't focus too much on your vocal variety, body language, and so on. But two things are very important for me. I would like to introduce with you. Firstly is, because evaluation is impromptu, but you still need to deliver a lot of things within these 2 to 3 minutes. So you need to take notes in a very good way. So firstly is how to conquer the impromptu delivery skills. I will introduce the note-taking skills with you. I believe you all have your own way, and later on I will share mine with you. The second part is the final part that I would like to focus on most, is the manner. What's your attitude? How would you deliver your feedbacks to the speaker? It's very important. Can you show your sympathy, sensitivity? Are you focused enough? Are you motivated enough? That will be the final part. Okay, and this part will tell you how you take notes. How many of you will prepare a piece of paper before you start? Before you listen to your speaker's speech? No, some people didn't raise your hand? Wow. You record a script that in your mind. Most of you will prepare a piece of paper, whether it's a big one or a small one. Before, when I was in my very early Toastmaster life, I prefer to prepare my evaluation sheets before I attend the meeting. I would type something, the name, the title. But when I was becoming busier, I have no time to do this. So the tips I would like to share with you is that when you rush to the meeting room, finally grab a paper, what should you do before the speaker starts their speech? I didn't prepare a paper today, but you can see it. I will fold it like this. Fold it, and fold it. 3 folds. Then you can see this structure. And I will draw a line in these parts. Draw lines. And I will take notes for the title. I will record a title here, opening, body, and conclusion. This is about my notes. And these 2 columns is for strengths and feedbacks. So when I finish this structure, I will start to listen to the speech of the speaker. And when the speaker finishes the opening, I will write down the key points of his or her opening. No matter good parts or room for improvement, I just write down what the speaker said. Write down. And for a body part, there will be a lot of content. I will write in a chronological order, start from this, from that, just write it down. And also a conclusion. What's the point mentioned by the speaker? At the same time, when I write those notes, I will pick up the one who will become the strength of the speaker to write it here. For example, in the opening part, point 1 is a good point. It's performed very well. I will write it here. At point B, I find some suggestions to provide to a speaker. I will write it here again. And for body part, the same principle. Categorize my notes into strength or feedback. So that will be like this. I write it down quickly. For example, I will say very fluent, very creative, humorous, and feedbacks I will say they can use the stage more, or can eye contact and so on. Write some keywords because we don't have time. So when the speaker's speech is over, I finish my script. Then I will practice these parts. But you don't have time to share so many points, right? We need to select some of them. I will select 3 strengths and 3 feedbacks. And my principle is like that. First, choose the one you can give excellent example during your evaluation, so that the speaker can improve. Secondly, choose the point most needed by the speaker. So it depends on what's the situation of the speaker. So you need to select. So after that, we can move to the next point, how to deliver it to the speaker. You can make your scripts, but how to convey is the next key. My first point to share with you is to be sensitive. Being an evaluator must be sensitive about what the speaker need at the current stage. Is it a newcomer, junior, senior, a DTN, a district officer, a foreigner? Or the needs are different. Focus on their need. And probably you can have an interview or talk with the speaker before or during the intermission. You can know this point. And secondly, is what's the story behind his speech? I think this point is very important. You can consider if a member restart their Toastmasters journey, like Tim, start his journey. Well, if you are a speaker of him, will you focus too much on the delivery skills or their languages? Maybe you will focus more on their story, on the story. So, what is the story behind the speech? Know the current level of speaker and select appropriate feedbacks for them. I don't have a lot of time to give you examples, so quickly go to the next point. No one is willing to be unprepared. Some of the members try their best to squeeze their time to visit the meeting, or they just come back from a business trip, very tired, very not so concentrated, and the speaker forget their lines on the stage. Will you plan on him that you should be well prepared next time? Will him or she come back next time? Yeah, the speaker had already tried his or her best. So I would recommend you that know the possible reason for speakers' unexpected performances and show some sympathy and sensitivities about this. They will feel better. And I believe our speakers know that they are not so well prepared this time. They will do a better work next time. The next one is about the empathetic. Oh, it's so important. Firstly, it's my real story. One day, I shared a very a speech that impressed me the most at that time, because my parents say something to me, I feel so sad, I want to share with my members. So the speech itself is a little bit dark, negative, only a little bit negative. I try to share my feeling, and although the conclusion of that speech is not so positive, I just say I try to find my way out, and I will try my best to find out the resolution. This is my conclusion. And my evaluator told me, your story is too negative. Next time, your plot could be changed like this or that, your dialogue could be changed, the conclusion could be more positive. For example, you have a good relationship with your parents in the end, this is the happy ending. So at that time, I find be careful when you suggest the speaker to change their plot or change their topic, because that's their story. Just listen and try to give some comments based on his or her real story. The second point is no one would like to be blunt or point out too directly during evaluation. Yes, obviously. So try to use some objective sharing instead of some subjective descriptions. And this is the things I'd like to share with you because it's from the Pathways Manual. I find one page of the Pathway Manual share how to compare the differences between subjective description and objective sharing. And you can see it. For example, don't be afraid on the stage. And probably you can say, I noticed that your hands and legs tremble on the stage. Just tell the truth, the observations that you found. You have to, you should. The body language is too much. Try to modify it a little bit, make it not less strong. That will make the speaker feel more comfortable. Next point is focus. Remember, focus on the evaluation items of specific manuals and offer practical recommendations or constructive example and demonstrations. It's always easy to point out that you should improve, but it's difficult to provide examples and to try to show the speakers how to do. And then speaker is the main character, not you. So don't too much about yourself. Focus on them. Just focus on them. And talk to a speaker like chatting with friends. So it's not your show. It's not delivering a good evaluation speech. It's about talking to a speaker and make him or her feel comfortable and improve next time. Final part is about motivational. Obviously, you must try to be positive. No matter when you are appreciating the strengths or see the improvement in a positive way, try to transcribe it into a positive way will make our speakers feel better on the stage. And also, evaluator is not the judge. You are the super part of a speaker during that meeting, because you are the one who will listen to the speech speaker into the most detailed, most clear way. So do not focus only on skills. Try to make the speakers live with greater confidence. As I repeat this word sentence again and again, because it's not easy. You need to take care of every part of the speaker. Although you feel very nervous on stage, you still have to make it. And every speaker needs to be listened and cared like your friends. I think this part, Circle did a very good job. I still remember one day Circle shared with me that when you shift your style from focus on the delivery skill into focus on this person or his or her feeling, I can say it's really different. So I love this point so much. Time is so short, so in summary, structure, opening body conclusion, 3 breath, 3 feedbacks, and delivery skills and time control. So I hope you learned something today. Turn my control back to Aaron. So